gentlemen, thank you very much for your wonderful company tonight. Just about 9 p.m. East African time. We are glad that you've chosen us to inform you and update you on what is making headlines across the country tonight. Well, what a night. The Deputy President speaks. So that and much more making headlines across the country. But first, the day's top stories. Famous Kitengela 3, who went missing 1 month ago, found alive as police insist they are not behind the abductions. Deputy Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli tenders apology to the courts as Justice Lawrence Mugambi sets aside his conviction. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua dismisses impeachment claims, slamming members of parliament attacking him. All right, talk to us across our feedback lines. 23059. The hashtag on X is hashtag Gibeon Weekend Edition. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get this show started. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now accuses a cabinet secretary for meeting over 35 members of parliament in Nyahururu. At the center of discussion, his impeachment. In an interview with a local TV station, Gachagua says his conscience is clear while alleging that members of parliament were given money to sign the impeachment motion. The Deputy President, however, failed to mention the name of the cabinet secretary or how much money was in distribution.
You have seen people being caught and being offered money to impeach the Deputy President, to remove him from office, and all that nonsense that is going on. And I was saying, you see, some are elected by the people. And I asked the people directly whether they have a problem with my leadership. And they said they don't have. I drew my mandate directly from the people. And what I was saying, anybody who has a problem with my leadership, anybody who has a problem with my conduct, has every business to talk to my employer, the people of Kenya.
Okay.
Those are the people who make decisions over my conduct. Those are the people who can appraise my performance. Those are the people who can give an opinion as to what they think I'm doing, whether it's right or wrong.
Right, and of course, that is a story that continues to develop for the better part of this evening. And of course, we'll be waiting to see the reactions that continue to pour in following those particular damning allegations, for lack of a better word. And he's been able to address quite a lot of issues within, this particular interview, where he's also talked about his relations with the presidency, or the office of the president for that matter. And he says that he's been locked out of the presidential diary. Even says he was removed from a WhatsApp group that was created that keeps on updating where the president is. And this is something that we'll be keeping tabs on for the better part of this weekend, just to update you on the reactions that will likely come following that particular interview. But let's now switch gears to the corridors of court, where embattled Deputy Inspector General of the Administration Police, Gilbert Masengeli, has now tendered an apology to the High Court after being found in contempt in a case related to the disappearance of 3 Kenyans. Masengeli, who was acting Police Inspector General at the time of the said disappearances, had been sentenced to 6 months in prison, a sentence which was later suspended for 7 days to allow him to purge the contempt. In an affidavit filed on September 20th, Masengeli admitted to missing court hearings, citing operational challenges, including his involvement in security operations in northern Kenya, as well as the Coast region, as the primary reasons for his absence in court.
What would you like to tell the court?
My Lord, I want to thank you for the opportunity you accorded me to stand before you. Before I say anything, my Lord, I would like to apologize to the Lordship and the judiciary for the events that have transpired leading to the orders of this court. My Lord, I respect you and all our gods for the good work that you do to uphold the rule of law. As a police officer, it is my duty to enforce court orders and ensure that court orders are obeyed. I pray, my Lord, that this court accepts my apology, vacates conviction and sentence. So I pray, my Lord.
Okay, that's all, my Lord.
At the same time, Justice Lawrence Mugambi set aside the conviction and jail sentence of Police Deputy Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli after finding that his apology in court was genuine. The case has now been forwarded to Chief Justice Martha Koome for further direction. Justice Lawrence Mugambi at the same time recused himself from the case, terming personal reasons.
He was cross-examined by advocates for the petitioners, and my observation is that his answers appeared genuine. He was calm and polite. To crown it all, he pleaded with the court, stating that if he had been wrong or made an error of judgment in prioritizing other exigencies of duty over the court summons, he sought forgiveness and mercy from the court. He stated as follows, and I quote, "I want to apologize to this court and the judiciary for the events that transpired leading to orders of contempt of court. I respect you and the good work you do to uphold the law. As a police officer, it is my duty to enforce court orders and ensure court orders are obeyed. I pray the court accepts my apology, vacates the conviction and sentence. I so pray." End of quote. This court is convinced that Mr. Masengeli regrets and is genuinely remorseful for the situation he finds himself in. It is not the intention of this court to punish a genuinely repentant man who has acknowledged his mistakes and offered an apology. His conduct today has restored the dignity of the court and the due administration of justice by attending court and explaining the difficulties that caused him not to comply and offering an apology for any of errors of judgment he might have made. And thus both the conviction and sentence passed are set aside. I must, however, not end this deliberation without speaking on the need for all to respect and uphold the independence of the judiciary. It is a judiciary that guarantees adherence to the rule of law. Every Kenyan who means well for this country must fight for the independence of the judiciary so that judges can be allowed to make decisions based purely on law and the facts without the fear of reprisals, interference, pressure or threats, whether direct or indirect.
On the other hand, Attorney General Dorcas Oduor was involved in a heated clash with the Law Society of Kenya lawyers led by the outspoken former President Nelson Havi. The Attorney General represented Masengeli in a first ever appearance in court after being appointed as the Attorney General of Kenya.
The office of the Attorney General will admit that there was interference with the judge insofar as this matter is concerned. We'll leave it at that for now. Number two, the Honorable Attorney General.
My Lord, I wish to take objection. Kindly, I wish to take objection.
What is the objection?
That is a very major accusation. Please take your seat. That is very major accusation. And he has to put on record where I said that there was effort, or where I was admitting that the judge was interfered with as the Attorney General. And from my statement, where I admitted that there was interference with the judge.
So Mr. Nelson, did you?
My Lord, number 2, I'm old enough not to be distracted from my life.
Kindly respond to that. It is important. You have made a very serious allegation.
She has a written speech where she said there were discreet attempts to reach the court to explain the delicate nature.
Given a dictionary to define the word attempt.
Okay. What did you hear from the Council of the 8th?
No, I will not withdraw. We are on live camera. They will play that clip if she says she didn't say it.
2 brothers and an activist who went missing on August 19, 2024, in the wake of anti-government demonstrations in Kitengela have been found alive in Kiambu County. According to Law Society of Kenya President Faith Odhiambo, the brothers Jamil and Asli Longton were found dumped in Gachagua, Kiambu County. In a video released on the same social media platform, the brothers narrated the horrendous ordeal, even as they thanked Kenyans for their support. The brothers added that going forward, they will communicate through the LSK president. At the same time, activist Bob Njagi was found alive in Tigoni, Kiambu County.
Kwa majina naitwa Longton Jamil Hashim, na mimi nawashukuru wa Kenya, watu waliosimama na sisi. Tumeweza kuachiliwa leo usiku wa kuamkia leo sehemu ya Gachagua kwa kichaka, na tukatembea hadi tukapata estate moja. Hapo ndio tukaomba mahali tukacharge simu na tukaweza kucommunicate na familia kwa tumewachiliwa na tuko hai. Tunashukuru Mungu, na mengi tutaongea kupitia kwa President Law Society of Kenya.
Kwa majina naitwa Aslam Nadhim Longton. Nashukuru wa Kenya kwa kusimama na sisi. Tumeachiliwa leo yani masaa kuamkia usiku wa leo kuamkia asubuhi hii, na tumeweza kuachiliwa na tumetupwa kwa kichaka, ndipo tuko hapa hivi.
Now let's go back to the Deputy President, but a little bit earlier on. Now the DP Rigathi Gachagua has slammed a section of members of parliament for allegedly conspiring to impeach him from office just 2 years into his tenure. Gachagua has asserted that the legislators are among his political detractors, claiming that they have been bribed by influential figures in government to tarnish his reputation and hound him out of office. Gachagua visited Marikiti Market in response to last week's protest by traders against the Nairobi County government's planned eviction of the vending center to Kangundo Road Market.
Wana haki ya Wakenya wote, na kama watu ya mlima ni wengi, hiyo ni mambo ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Mimi siwezi laumiwa ati watu ya mlima ni wengi hapa Marikiti, kwa sababu hiyo ni Mwenyezi Mungu aliamua. Na hao watu ya mlima unasema walikuwa wengi, wakikupigia kura kwa nini huko nalalamika ni wengi? Na mimi niseme wananitisha mimi ati watasanya wabunge ati wanifukuze. Mimi niseme wananiuzia woga, na nyinyi mkirudi mashinani, watu ya Nyandarua si mko hapa, si watu ya Murang'a mko hapa, si mtaenda kuambia hiyo wajumbe waachane na mimi? Mbona nyinyi mkiteswa hawaikuji kutetea nyinyi? Kwa nini siku wamekuwa pale Nyandarua ndio siku mlikuwa mnahangaishwa wakitoa taarifa yao? Mbona hawakusema watu ya Marikiti wasinyanyaswe? Mimi nataka niseme namna hii, ili Kenya ni yetu, na hiyo siasa inaletwa Kenya itaharibu Kenya. Wananchi wapewe nafasi, walichaguana, na miaka 5 ikisha watarudi kwa debe. Wakati hii ni wakati ya kufanya kazi, sio wakati ya kupanga siasa kwa mahoteli. Wewe ukitaka kupiga Rigathi Gachagua, hapana, enda kwa hoteli, kuja hapa Marikiti waambie huyu watu. Na ndio tukiatrele. Sisi tuliunga Rais William Ruto mkono kwa hiari yetu na tulimpenda. Hao watu wanapanga hii maneno, tafadhali msitujaribu. Msitujaribu. Mtusiambie sisi ya kwamba sisi ni bure. Tuheshimiwe. Na watu wanataka waheshimiwe na kiongozi wao waheshimiwe. Na mimi niambie wale watu wanatukana Rigathi Gachagua, si Rigathi Gachagua wanatukana, ni wale wananchi walimpigia kura.
Allies of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have continued their consistent onslaught of leaders calling for his impeachment. While accompanying Gachagua to Marikiti Market, they have faulted leaders like Kimani Ichung'wah for their attacks against the President William Ruto's deputy. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua continues to face imminent threats of impeachment as a section of the Mount Kenya East Wing solidifies its support behind Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki.
Nasikia wabunge wanaenda kukutana ati ndio wa impeach naibu wa rais. Naibu wa rais, watu wamefika wapi mahali wakadharau hii community, wakadharau kura zao, wakakudharau, na hiyo ni wale watu hawana shukrani. Na tumefika mahali tukaona kweli asanti ya punda ni mateke. Kama Rigiji siku ya leo anapangiwa jama, ate jama ya kumtukana kila siku, ni kama Kimani wa Ichung'wah ako level moja na Rigiji.
Mimi nimetoka hapa Kiambu na naomba munitume kwa huyo mbunge wa Kikuyu. Naomba munitume. Si ndio? Tuliamuka asubuhi tukapea yeye kura pamoja na rais, ikafika kura 7 million. Si tulifanya hivyo? Alafu unaona viongozi wengine wa Kiambu mahali tuko na kura 1.25 wanashikana atuwatafute kiongozi mwingine ametoka kaunti ingine iko na kura 1,100. Jameni, hiyo ni hesabu gani wanafanya hata wao? Sisi tunashikilia Rigiji. Sisi tuko nyuma ya Rigiji. Wale wako kwa Rigiji nionyesha na mkono.
Kimani Ichung'wah, tunakuomba na tunakuambia heshima sio utumwa. Na kwa sababu hiyo tabia yako ya kwenda ukitusi naibu wa rais, sisi tunakuhakikishia haitawezekana. Hata mmoja asikutingize. Wewe kalia hiyo kiti, ukalie kidete. Hakuna mtu anataka kukutingiza. Hawa wananchi unaona hawa ndio wako na jukumu. Usipofanya kazi, sisi ndio wanatoa kwa kazi. Hiki mimi namwambia, tafadhali heshimu wananchi. Na nikikuomba uwaheshimu, nasema tafadhali. Matiang'i alikuwa kwa hiyo kiti. Matiang'i alikuwa amekalia hiyo kiti yenye wewe umekalia. Matiang'i alitumiwa vile wewe unatumiwa.
Opposition leader and Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka now says they will move to court, filing a petition against the Adani JKIA leasing agreement that sparked protests amongst airport workers and a section of Kenyans. Kalonzo Musyoka, while in Kisii, accused President William Ruto of planning to sell the airport to the Indian conglomerate.
Anaweza kujua kwamba huyu Inspector General Masengeli aliachiliwa leo ndiyo sasa Kanja aanze afadhali. But we're going beyond that. Jumatatu hatutakuwa wapinzani, but this is wapinzani ambao tunaelewa inchi. Tumekuwa pale and we want this country to stand strong. On Monday tuko kwa mahakama kupinga mambo haya ya kuuza uwanja wa ndege. We are not atubatishi. Senator Onyonka, congratulations again. The country will stand with you. We know the story inside out. Mtu hawezi kuanza kuuza kuku na mayai ya kuku alafu sasa nataka kuuza uwanja wa ndege. Haiwezekani. Haiwezekani kabisa. Hatutakubali mambo. Tuko pamoja lakini Bwana Yesu asifiwe.
Business mogul SK Macharia has taken legal action to reclaim Direct Line Assurance Company, claiming it was unlawfully seized through a forged CR12 form. With his lawyer Danstan Omari, Macharia has filed a petition at Milimani Law Courts seeking to have himself and his wife recognized as the rightful owners, demanding accountability for the 8 billion shillings in premiums swindled from policyholders.
SK Macharia, being a renowned businessman, he is the one who started Direct Line Assurance as an investor alongside his wife and other shareholders who came up with Direct Line Assurance. But it has come to the attention of the original and the true legal shareholders that the company's CR12 has been fraudulently and illegally altered, in that shares have been transferred contrary to the law, contrary to what is provided for under the Insurance Act.
98% of people using public service vehicle in this country are not insured. They are cheated that they are insured. They are exposed to serious risks, and anybody who will be involved in an accident, count yourself, you are alone with your own God. There is no insurance in the vehicles that are having a sticker called Insurance Direct Line. That is the reason why we have moved with speed to court to compel the registrar of companies to register the rightful owners of the company.
The ruling UDA party has launched a Youth Comrade chapter as it seeks to engage college and university students across the country. The initiative is aimed at empowering youth in political leadership, fostering a platform for young voices to be heard. The launch also hopes to build a network of motivated and informed young leaders who will drive UDA's agenda.
I am very happy to stand before you here today to speak for you for about 2 minutes, just to appreciate this partnership that we have between the UDA party and my office to ensure that we bring on board the voices of young leaders. Kenya, the median age is 19 years, and so this country belongs to you, the young people.
This is what has been missing, the engagement of our young people in the right places. Now, I want to congratulate the party UDA, SG and chair, kwa sababu wakati hawa vijana hawana nafasi ya kujiendeleza, kupeana ideas zao, they will end up in the streets if they don't have a voice.
Hawa ndugu zetu wadogo wanahangaika sana. We must give them an opportunity to not only hone their leadership, but like what those before us did, for them also to cultivate their leadership and take over the positions of power and responsibility.
The Gen Z revolution, let me say, taught us that the young people are tired of just talking and nobody is listening, and that they are not afraid to speak truth to power. And I want to encourage you to continue in that journey, because if the conscience of society does not speak, society will collapse.
The fact that you are a UDA member in the UDA charter does not mean that we don't correct our government. You don't point out when there are difficulties and things that you consider are not in accordance with the promise that has been made by UDA as a party. And not just us, anybody that is in leadership.
Now, a tragic incident in Ruiru has left the community in shock as a mother is suspected of strangling and biting her newborn. The heartbreaking event has drawn significant attention, with authorities now investigating the circumstances surrounding the baby's death. Early reports suggest the mother may have been overwhelmed by her situation. The incident has sparked discussions on mental health and the challenges faced by new mothers, especially the postpartum depression.
Wakati wa saa 11 asubuhi nikitoka kufanya shughuli zangu nijipange niende kazi zangu za kawaida, nilikutana na manguo za mtoto kwa dustbin zikiwa na damu, na nikasuspect hizi nguo si salama, nikazitoa kwa dustbin nikaweka kando, na shughuli zangu nikaenda shughuli zangu. Sasa baada ya kurudi saa 4 ndio nipate chakula cha asubuhi, ndio nikaona mama mmoja wa mkaaji wa hapa ametoka na nguo zake na nguo kidogo kama towel, akitoka na akienda kwa barabara akazitupa huko. Wakati anatupa akarudi, wakati akirudi yule yote alikuwa anapatikana naye kwa njia alikuwa anamshika anaanza kumpiga mateke. Sasa hilo harakati wakifika kwa gate, mama mwingine hapo alikuwa anakuja kumtembelea, kashika kaanza kuvutana na yeye, tukaingia kwa plot. Sasa hiyo harakati ya kuvutana na yeye kufika kwa mlango yake tukaona labda amerukwa na kichwa, tukashika yeye ili tuanze kumfunga. Tulipambana kuanza kumfunga mikono, sasa akaponyoka akaingia ndani ya nyumba. Kwa namna hiyo niliona nichukua hatua niende police station. Tuingie ndani na askari wale tulikuwa na wao. Tukaona mtoto amelalishwa vizuri kwa kitanda na kuna damu kwa kifua. Sasa tukaona huyu mama huenda kama ameua mtoto, ajifanye kuwa mwendazimu ndio asijulikane mambo yake. Tumekaa hapa naye miezi 6 na vile ninamuelewa ako na depression ya maisha, yeye na bwana yake vile walikuwa naishi.
Kugeuka nikaona mtu amekuja bio. Mimi nikaenda na safari zangu, nikaingia kwa kina Mama Hope, nikaita Mama Hope. Nikamuuliza Mama Hope, sika ikifunguo uniangalilie huko. Na yeye sasa venye tuliachana na Mama Hope niliona mtu amekuja bio. Venye alikuja bio akakuja kama ananirukia. Kugeuka hivi alisinisika vizuri sigo, hata sigo saa hii inauma. Akanisika kabisa. Nikamuuliza ni nini wewe? Akaniambia twende. Kugeuka hivi niliona mtu amenisika vizuri na akona damu kwa mdomo. Nikamuuliza kwani wewe unanihangi, wewe ni mwanaume? Ananiambia tu twende. Akanisika chagufu. Venye nilijiachilia alinisika mkono. Sasa nikaanza kurudi na mahali nilikuwa nimetoka. Kurudi nikaita Mama Hope na Mama Irene. Si ndio sasa alianza kutetemeka kama amenisika. Sasa venye aliona wale
A section of education stakeholders in Bungoma County are now asking the government through the Ministry of Education to achieve the process of equalizing education funding to ensure there is harmony across the country. Speaking in Bungoma, led by the principal of Kanduye DEB Primary School, stakeholders have said the parents and students have been struggling to get the funding for years now due to the issues of privileges and political tyranny from various leaders in the country. In addition, they have asked the national government to increase allocation of school funds in order to achieve development, especially in terms of construction of basic structures for schools with a large number of students.
Mambo ya hii basari ingekuwa inafikia wale watu wanaohitajika ambao tunajua kutoka vijijini huko, ingekuwa afadhali. Lakini tunajua kuna watu ambao wana benefit kwa hizi basaries, ili hali ukiangalia mapato yao ni wale wanaoweza kulipia karo ya watoto wao. Kidogo hapo inaleta shida, sababu hata ukiangalia katika national government nini inatendeka, basaries inaenda kwa wale watu wanaojulikana, na kama wewe unatoka kijijini hakuna mtu anayekujua, hapo inakuwa shida. Hiyo kwangu naona kwamba tuweke hizi basaries pamoja na masomo yawe bure kwa kila mtu kwa shule za sekondari na hata vyuo vikuu na vyuo anuai.
Ningeliomba kwamba basari iwe kwa kikapu kimoja na tuwe na timu ambayo iko independence, isiwe kwa wanasiasa. Tuwe pengine na commission ya basari ambayo itakuwa inapanga maneno ya basari, ambayo itakuwa inafanya budget ya basari, so that basari inapokuja hiyo commission ndio ijue ni nani anayepeana. Lakini tukiacha kwa wanasiasa, tukiachia mwanasiasa moja atajigamba ya kwamba yeye ndio ana nguvu kushinda wengine. Kwa hivyo ningeliomba ya kwamba iwe commission tu ambayo inafanya uangalizi wa basari, ambapo itaangalia wale wanafunzi ambao wana mahitaji. Nimeona sehemu zingine shule zimetengenezwa, huenda si katika hii constituency. Hasa kuna shule nilienda katika constituency huko, nafikiri ilikuwa Kipipiri, Central Province. or Central Region, shule zimetengenezwa, zimewekwa kapros kila mahali. Vumbi halipo kama hapa kwetu. Shule zetu za katika Bungoma County zote, ningeliomba ya kwamba kama viongozi wa sehemu hii wangeenda sehemu kama Kipipiri, wajifunze vile kule wanavyofanya, shule zetu zote pia zirembeshwe hivyo, itakuwa vizuri. Wanafunzi watang'ara.
Now to sports, Football Kenya Federation and other stakeholders are mourning the death of Ulinzi Starlets head coach Joseph Mwanza, who died tragically on Friday morning. News of his demise was released by the Department of Defense on the club's official social handles. Mwanza had been sick for a long period and had been in and out of hospital. However, the CAF A licensed tactician managed to help Starlets win the FKF women's title with a 2-1 win over Kibera Soccer Ladies. The federation eulogized him as a tactician who dedicated all his efforts to the development of women's football. Quite saddened by that news of the head coach of Ulinzi Starlets, and we condole with the family and empathize with the friends as well that have lost their close relative and friends. So at that point, allow me to wrap it up. I'd love to just send out a big appreciation to some of our viewers tonight. Kennedy Jumba Asirigwa, who says good evening to you as well. Thank you very much for watching. We have Nekoye Janet as well as Franklin Otieno, who are both watching from Kitengela this evening. Thank you very much. And to all our supporters and viewers as well tonight from across the country, we say thank you very much. We are nothing without you. So we'd love to wish you a fantastic night ahead. From the team that has made this broadcast a success, we also say thank you very much. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have a good night.